As I explained in my last vlog, my lazy ass has waited to the end of each day the last week to fit in 80 minutes of underwater pool training per day. In that case, I had to prioritize actually finishing the fucking exercise rather than recording my thoughts on it. Even today is less than optimal because the children usually swim at this time, but luckily I found myself with an empty pool, so I'll throw down some bars. Am I scared? Is my inner Nick Diaz scared? For anyone wanting a roller coaster of emotion, watch ESPN's Brett Okamoto interview the one and only Nick Diaz, UFC fighter. He's returning after 6 years, but he's an interesting case because he just openly admits that he hates fighting. How does this make any fucking sense? You'd think that's something that requires you to step into a cage with another trained killer who wants to take off your head or your limbs. You'd think that that requires you to really want to do that, because otherwise there's other things you could do. Especially in Nick's situation, he probably could stop, given how much money he's earned. And if anything, he can always borrow a couple mil from baby brother Nathan Diaz, made famous by Conor McGregor. But he's back, and what does he think about it? He admits that he hates fighting in that cage, but he loves training. George St. Pierre and Michael Bisping, two former champions, one in multiple weight classes, have both co-signed Nick's sentiments. So they hated fighting in the cage too. For me, that started to let me go. I've had a long, hard process trying to let go of the fact that I seem to have this love-hate relationship with the water, depending on the day that I vlog. Some days I feel like I'm doing well. I love the water. Some days I feel like maybe I've had trauma from an almost drowning when I was but a young child. How do I feel? Because my water career seems to be marked with tragedy, triumph, tragedy, triumph. Every time I start tragically, I drill myself to triumph. I think I'll just have to admit that I have a love-hate relationship with the water. Today, I felt, for the first time in at least a week, swimming in the morning. To have it under my belt. Here's the thing. Ideally, I'd actually want to swim earlier so that it's done and that I can get on with my day. But for whatever reason, the last week, the only way I was able to gut the shit out was to delay till the very end of the day when the pool is about to close. I just calculate 80 minutes before pool closing time, and I just gut it out. I gut it out at the last moment. I also judge myself a lot for having to gut it out. I really do. I'm thinking to myself, if I really, really want to continue and advance my scuba diving progress, I really should love the shit, should I? Well, the reason why is because the time, energy, and money investment is gargantuan, in my opinion. What else would I be doing? I'd probably be investing that time, money, and energy into editing my rockumentary. That's probably what I'd be doing. But I, to be fair, can really balance both of those goals together. I mean, I'm just being a whiny-ass baby bitch. Like Nick Diaz. Well, that's the thing, though. The reason why, at least I, love Nick Diaz is because he channels my inner frustrations. Sometimes you're just a whiny-ass baby bitch who's having a love-hate relationship with the thing that you really want to be passionate about, but you just sometimes have this mental block. Why? Because it's been a lot of training. I've trained 80 minutes in the pool every day, 6 days straight. I'm really trying to make up for lost time. That's why fuck the pandemic. If anything, what it's done is it's made my training very lopsided. I've had to be very opportunistic. Okay, now the pool's open, I gotta fucking get as many training sessions in, as opposed to spreading them out evenly, sustainably, as I'd done in 2019, when I actually tested for my PADI open water scuba diving license. It's just gonna be that roller coaster. I guess it's just gonna be the way it goes. Last time I filmed what at that time was considered a full training session, 40 minutes, twice a day. Now, as I've painstakingly explained, I've amalgamated it into 80 minutes, 80, once a day. I spend all of that underwater. The reason why is I'm just trying to build up tolerance. The last thing I want to do is freak the fuck out in the open ocean. So what I'm doing is I'm simulating everything that I might come across in a scuba diving pool simulation. I've even added some training ideas from the Navy SEALs. As I'm running through my ideas, here's my beef with PADI and all of the scuba diving bodies that license people. I think they're just too lax. That's my opinion. But I think what's better is the Navy, the US Navy dive training program. I came across some tips and videos, and I've actually modified. For example, as far as I know, in PADI, I'll have to double check this, but what they do is they separate mask removal and replacement as one skill, clearing, regulator. They seem to concentrate on